you are doing well. If you are wondering why I am zoomed in that much, it is because I'm going to make a makeup tutorial today showing you how to make a realistic makeup transformation. That's why I'm zoomed in, so that you could see all the products that I'm going to apply on my face closely. So if you want to see how to transform yourself realistically with makeup, then please keep watching. So the first thing I'm going to use on my face is the DIY MAC Fix Plus that I made. I'm going to leave a card here somewhere if you want to watch that video. So first thing is that I'm going to close my eyes and mist my face. And of course I have a bit of a combination skin, so probably 3 sprays is enough for me. If you have drier skin, you might want to add more. If you have oily skin, probably you want just to skip this step altogether. And of course I use this mist here as my moisturizer, so you are free to substitute with toners, with moisturizers, whatever you find suitable for your skin type. The second thing that I'm going to use is an SPF. And this happened to be an illuminating type of product that also serves as an SPF. This has an SPF of 25, and this is very important. Do not ignore protecting your skin against sun damage, because this is something that I've always been aware of. I've always worn sun protection since I was very young, so that's why I do not have much sun damage to my skin. If you are wondering what this is, I mentioned this in my favorites video, probably for 2015. This is the Vita Liberata Capture the Light Skin Illuminator, and this is in the shade Gold. So all I'm going to use is just 1 pump of this. And I'm focusing this on the outer perimeter of my face and drag whatever is left on my fingers, under my eyes and on my cheeks. I don't have any mirror, so I hope I'm blending things right. So now after this is done, I'm going to use my foundation straight away, and for this I am using my Dior Star Foundation. This is in the shade 031. I love this foundation because it looks very nice. It distributes a very small pump, so yeah, that's all I'm going to use on my face. I'm not going to use a very full coverage, so that I get a realistic appearance to my skin, if you know what I mean. And this is the purpose of this video. And to make this as easy as possible, I'm also going to blend the foundation with my fingers. I'm not going to use any brush. The thing that you want to make sure that you do is to blend the foundation really well and avoid putting too much on your nose. I haven't put any on my nose. I'm just using whatever is left on my finger to run over my nose, so that I do not get cakey places here and foundation looking too obvious. So yeah, that's what I do. And if you find that you have some places that need more coverage, like blemishes or some discoloration, just take a very high coverage concealer. I always use this. This is the MAC Studio Finish Concealer. This is the best that I've ever used, because I've owned this pot for about 3 years and I'm still using it. And I use it every day or very, very often, and still this is really worth the money. So I just take my finger, and here probably I have a bit of a blemish here and some redness around my nose that I just dab my finger with the concealer to hide. Also on the corners of my mouth, I bring a small fluffy brush. This is the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush, a $3 or $5 brush that is amazing. So yeah, just blend. And this is very high coverage. You see that you could barely see the blemish that I used to have here. So now skin is looking flawless. I'm going to move to the eyes before I do my concealer. And today I'm going to use a palette by Freedom Makeup. This is called Stunning Smokes. And I am going to use 3 shades. I'm going to use this one and the darker brown one. And I'm also going to use this rose gold shade. Don't mind me, I dropped the palette. So anyway, I'm going to start with this light brown shade. I'm going to take it on a fluffy blending brush so that I could put this color in my socket, because you see I have a bit of a hooded eye, so I want my lid to look more prominent when I open my eyes. That's why I'm going to put this darker shade, creating a shadow on here. And the best way I find when you are doing your eyeshadow to find where your socket is, or above your crease, that's what they call it, just bring your mirror, put it down and look down, and here you could see this oval shape of your eye and you know exactly where you want your shadow to go. So I am working using this tip, so back and forth on the other eye as well, very quickly. Now I'm going to use the darker brown shade, and I'm going to use a smaller brush, a brush like this one. I'm just going to load the tip of the brush and go here, also looking down on my mirror to find my outer corner. I'm just going to put it on the outer corner just like that. So you apply the color with this brush and then you take your first brush and just in circular motions blend this while your eyes are closed. Just locate it on the outer corner and blend blindly. You see it started to diffuse, so again with the first brush, you could use your finger for this as well, so probably you only need one brush. So you just apply the color with your fingers or with this precise brush. Close your eyes, place this brush here, the blending brush, and circular motions only on this area and very, very lightly. And of course, if I could do this on my eyes, you could definitely do it because I have smaller eyes. So all the spaces, the different parts of the eye are smaller. So my outer corner is small, my lid is small, my crease is small, and it's not very defined. So if I could do it, you could do it. So then you take this brush with whatever is left on it, the darker shade, and you just run it under your eyes just like that. And don't be careful, just blend, and even if it was so low, it's fine. Now I'm going to use this rose gold shade, and actually I want it to be so foiled and I want the application to be so precise, so that's why I'm going to use a brush. I usually use my finger. You could definitely do that and just apply it here on the lid, but I want it to be foiled, and I'm going to use the DIY MAC Fix Plus that I made to spray my brush and then dip it into the product and work it like I'm painting on the bare area here. So just one spray, work your brush into the shadow, load it as much as you can, start painting. You see how foiled and nice this looks? And you want to stop here on the crease. So you are just making like a moon shape or crescent shape. And do not bring it too much into the darker shade. And this is what you should have now. So in order to make the color a bit more blendable, you just place your brush here on the top part and go back and forth to blend only the edges. Go back with the brush with the darker color and just dab it on the outer corner just to blend. I'm just going to put some pencil here on my waterline and try to blend this pencil by looking up and running it just in between your lashes. I have very thick lashes and this is very difficult for me because I can't reach the skin, if you know, between the lashes. If you have shorter lashes, this would be easier. And some people say if you have small eyes, do not apply something dark in your waterline because this is going to close your eyes up. But I like this look on myself personally. My eyes are going to be small anyway. I just want the color of my eyes to pop. That's why I apply this darker shade so that my eyes appear lighter in color and more bright. That's it. Now I'm going to do some concealing. And for this, I'm using this very nice concealer, LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Nude. And this is a very orangey shade. I don't think this is the skin tone of any person. You see how the color looks here. And I'm just going to dab it here, starting from the inner corner and down to the outer corner. And I'm taking my Flawless brush by e.l.f. I think this is very necessary to have if you want to blend your concealer flawlessly. This is a very cheap brush, you could get it anywhere. And of course, because you do not want this line to be so sharp between the shadow and the concealer, take your brush again, the softer brush that you used for the darker shade, and just run it so softly on the place where the concealer and the shadow meet. Looking nice so far, but you need here to blend this top part, so just take your finger so that you do not see where the shadow starts or where it stops, and just run it like that. I usually just take a fluffy brush like the concealer brush but clean, and just go over the edges of the lightest brown shade that we applied on the crease. Okay, looking good. Now let's apply some mascara, and of course I'm using the Max Factor Masterpiece Transform, and you are free to apply one coat, two coats, apply false lashes. I do not wear false lashes at all. I feel that they are not realistic and I hate them. But anyway, I'm going to use this Tanya Bear kit. I use the hot cocoa shade and mix it with a bit of pebble to make my eyebrows look softer, and this usually takes me very little time. So I just start from the bottom and then on the top. So on the areas that do not have much hair. And then take the lighter shade and just go here on the front, because this is going to be naturally lighter. Yeah, and that's everything that I do. You see how fast it is. Now something important to do is to set your under eye so that the eyeshadow doesn't run low and low. I'm pressing it and I'm not brushing it like all at once fast, because I wanted the powder to stick to the concealer under it and not remove it. Here I have the Real Technique setting brush and I just brush it just like that. And I take whatever is left on the powder here and run it on my cheeks in a circular motion to hide my pores. If you have oily skin, you might want to do that. If you have dry skin, don't ever. And this is all the powder that I apply on my face. I hate powders, so of course this is a personal preference. Although I have oily skin, I just like my skin to look fresher and more realistic. That's why I only keep the powder under my eyes for maintenance purpose. And of course, if you want your cheek color to be more realistic, use something cream or liquid. This is a tint, or you could use your lipstick, by the way. This is the Benetint and it is a very beautiful rosy shade, but this needs a very fast work, so I just draw it on the top of my cheeks. And the best thing to do is to use a stippling brush and start blending this before it stains your face, and take whatever is left here on the temples, because this will tie everything together more beautifully. I do it on the top. Some people like to do it lower. That's where I like my blush to be, so I take it a bit higher. And of course you could still use your fingers to soften the color if you find that you applied too much or that the edges are not so blended with the brush. You could do it with your finger. Of course, no contour. I hate contour. Realistically, when I go out, I only use contour in my videos sometimes because the camera washes you out, because I want to my face to have more structure and doesn't look like a potato, literally. So I apply some contour here on my cheekbones and under my jaw, but when I go out I just apply blush and a bit of bronzer, so I do not sculpt my face. This is the Vivid Baked Bronzer by Makeup Revolution in the shade Golden Days. This is very pale, so probably if you are darker than me, you want to go to the shade up. I just start here on the hairline and with a very big brush and just sweep a bit over the blush under it, if you know what I mean. So this is not a contour, this is just to help blend the rosy shade with a bit of a brownie shade with the foundation shade that's your face color. So yeah, that's what you do. A bit on the nose, everywhere, and the brush is shedding. No big deal, no big deal. And of course, for an added beauty, you have to add a highlighter. And I've been into highlighters just only the past year because I thought that they bring something to the face and you do not have to spend lots of money on them, and you do not have to make them look like a stripy ray of light to prove to people that you are wearing a highlighter. I could wear it so subtly. This is the MUA 1 pound pearl eyeshadow that I always talk about. This is in the shade Champagne. I just dip the same brush that I used for my bronzer and go here near my eye and I sweep it up, not down. So I sweep it up towards the temple, overlapping a bit with the blush, and I don't want it to be a streak. You see, I just wanted to give a hint of a glow. So yeah, it looks a bit more natural. And yeah, dip again on the other side, do the same, start here near the eye and sweep up and a blend overlapping the blush so that it doesn't have any noticeable edges. If I look here, always the tip of the nose, you see that has a bit of light, so just run the brush over it with whatever is left. And here on the chin, you see adding highlighter is on the areas of the face that you see are more highlighted naturally when the light hits you. I'm just going to clean this here with a brush, the mascara. And of course on the lips you could apply whatever color you want. Here I have this shade by MUA, Makeup Academy. This is called the Matte Lipstick in Mystic Masala, and this is a very beautiful deep rosy shade. You could use whatever shade you want. Use pink, use brown, use only a lip gloss. So today I'm going to use this from the Bullet. This is a matte lipstick, but I'm going to use a bit of a gloss as well. I'm using this mineral lip gloss by e.l.f. in the shade Sorority Girl. So yeah, on top. So yeah, this is the finished look. And this is of course not an everyday easy makeup transformation. This is a realistic makeup transformation. Something that makes you look yourself, still yourself, but you are enhanced, you are transformed, but in a realistic way. People are still going to recognize that this is you. This is your skin, these are your eyes, your lips and your nose. This is basically still you. So this is not easy, but this is realistic. And I think this is for me the most beautiful makeup look. Something that doesn't mask you. Of course, I love editorial looks, the ones that we see on magazines and on Instagram and everything like that. I'm talking about the standard. What we see in photos is not what is supposed to happen in reality necessarily. So you do you, and if you can't do the makeup looks that you see transform people from one person to another, you can't do them, don't feel frustrated. You are not supposed to know how to do it. Just embrace yourself and try to improve your makeup techniques. And yeah, I hope this video was helpful for you, and I'll see you again very soon. Until then, please be safe. Bye.